And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this surprise late special. And some of you may be seeing this as a rerun. Some of you may be seeing this live. It is extremely late here. And I decided to pop on. I'm going to play the game and maybe talk about this. I will certainly talk about my day and trials and different things like that. And focus on the game at the same time. And anybody comes through, we'll have a conversation as usual. Alright. We will have to switch something over here so people can see it a little bit more brighter. Oh, that's good. Alright, here we go. Switching over. Alright. Hello, everybody. It's me, Alien Spaceship, and I hope everybody has been having a great week. It was nice seeing Stacy Rodriguez found guilty, and there's a new trial that came up with the snowplow murder trial. Also, the Monica Seaman trial is still going on. Her last name is Sementelli, Fabio Sementelli, so we call her Seaman, and she is not really she is a promiscuous individual, so that is why we call her that. Also, hello, Rebecca. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're able to make it to chat. Hello. I hope that you're having a good day and, well, good night, good evening. It's a little bit later where you are it's a little bit earlier where you are out there. So I'm glad you're able to make it and join. And I'm about to start my pirate game that I play, and I'll talk about the different trials and stuff. Okay. Alright, so it was an interesting testimonies that we saw today with there's some with the detective, if I recall correctly, and with the sister. And I was watching it and hanging out with y'all in the chat. And I also was seeing the cat over there and hanging out with him and petting him, listening. Like, I came back over and I was listening to it as well. Here's the pirate game about to start. Here we go. So, like, I was eating my lunch and I was watching it. Then what I did was I kept on, was talking to chat my point of view about the trial. I got to see it from the beginning. Her name was Anna, talking about her experience with Monica and how they're eating dinner, they're having parties and stuff, and she didn't think there was anything abnormal or strange, because of course usually if somebody's going to do some creepy crime like that, they're going to not tell anybody what they're doing, obviously. It's really unfortunate for relatives because they have to be burdened with that. These people that do those type of crimes, they really don't think that they could be caught, and they think that they're living in that moment, because you have to think of the long term. And I just think completely evil, bad with what they're doing. And I'm very pleased with the verdict. When that Stacy was found guilty, it was nice. Everybody roasted her, and it was a wild session because chat was, she looks like a giant pumpkin. Chat was not going to let that slip. And people, or George was asking me about, people were talking about her weight specifically, and I said, if it's like her, why, the crime she committed, if she didn't commit a crime, people wouldn't care as much about the weight. Like, people will pick on things during the trial because they did something evil. That's really what the people have a problem with. It's not so much about that specifically, and I'm like, I was telling George she was a convicted, you know, accused of murder, scared, and we believe she did it. And I was explaining it to him, then he understood, why we were doing that. And it wasn't a witness; it was a defendant. And that's why I believe, although like with The Fugitive, which was a movie back from the '60s, The Fugitive, the doctor was innocent, and they the fugitive one-armed man killed his wife. Deleted. We say on YouTube, deleted his wife, and he was accused of it, and they couldn't find the real murderer. And there's situations like that where a jury could get something wrong and somebody's actually innocent. So I understand that, but I trust and I don't want to jinx myself, but I think the system. I'd see most of the time the trials, the defendant is either guilty or not guilty. It's pretty straightforward for the ones I've seen. Sometimes it's not black and white like that, but in this situation, I think it was quite simplistically a guilty verdict, and people could go to trial, and sometimes it's clear as day if they're guilty or innocent. That's why I say let's bring it to trial. Let's see what it's going to do. And Rebecca says Anna should have stayed out of the court because she's a teacher and parents are not going to want their kids around that. I agree. That is something I believe you and chat, who specifically mentioned it, it was probably you and a couple other people that mentioned that. And I thought that too, because I was sitting there and watching it, and she's a teacher, like a teacher I would have at my school. And I'm thinking, like, it's not good that she's associated with this, but she could have been subpoenaed, and it's like they have to go to court. But if she voluntarily did it, it wasn't the bright idea. But yeah, it's her career. I don't think the parents would want their kid around someone like that. Yeah, I wouldn't blame them. It's bad vibes, and I thought, because like with Princess, I call her Princess Dot, but it's Princess T Dot about Toronto, where she's from. But yeah, so Princess Dot, was saying, which I was agreeing with her, but I don't mind being refuted if I'm wrong, that the sister didn't know about it. And yeah, I don't think she knew, but I don't know for sure. Maybe she did. And I don't know if she was necessarily covering for her sister. It was just, she was just seeing what her sister wanted her to see. Like with the Ted Bundy situation, a famous killer that I studied about, people thought he was a cool dude. Well, if you really look at, like, we probably would view the guy as creepy. People now would pick up on it better. But yeah, there's sometimes people have a certain persona they want to convey to a set audience of people. And that's what Monica did. She really wanted people to see a certain side of her that was masqueraded. It was an act. It was fake. And basically, I think that, in my opinion, she really is a good actress, because she was just smiling like nothing's bad's happening, but she was just going later to go and have Fabio delete it. He seemed like a pretty cool dude, and they seemed pretty happy together. It's a shame that she just couldn't control herself or whatever she was unhappy about, because, and I've talked to a lot of people on YouTube, and I will see that people are sometimes unhappy with their husbands, especially those who are divorced already. They're not happy with them, and they want to seek it out in someone else. And it's just, people, I'd say there seems to be this percentage of people that take it to an extreme, and they'll go do these unthinkable things. As I said, he seemed like a cool guy. I wasn't married to him, but she shouldn't have done that. And I'm sure, I don't know if she regrets it for herself or not, but yeah, she really was completely disgraceful. about what she did, and Rebecca says, Anna said that the daughter said to her on the phone that they deleted him, not Anna though. Yes, I remember that. I was there. Although when I was with the cat over there, I was listening with my headphones very closely because the cat likes attention sometimes, and he'll like sit over there and call me over, and I give him attention. But I was here at the computer, and I saw that, and an expression on her face. I'm just like, wow, they, and that's basically, you know, who we know who they is, and it's like she couldn't get an assassin to do it. She had to get Backer, or however I pronounce it Baker, but I don't know how it's really pronounced. That name, it's Backer or Baker, and which I probably heard in court as Baker. It's just sometimes I don't always quite recall because I'll see the name. I'm just like I don't know about that name. Yeah, I don't. That's all she could get. It's just it just when I say that, my point about saying that, it just shows you how like overconfident. Confidence is important, as you know, Rebecca. Confidence is important, but she really overestimated her ability, and like serial killers, for instance, or serial deleters, usually or statistically not deleting people they knew because it would be easier to track them. And I know it's gonna, but I just study this because I'm interested in criminology, not that I was going to be doing that myself. It's just I'm an alien with a flying saucer, and I like to study humans, but not necessarily do what not do what those other people, so serial deleters do. But yeah, so basically, having somebody connected that they know was not a good thing because it was just really it's good for us because she could be exposed, but it also makes it easier to trace that they did it. And what GSI, we'll call her G, that Austin has on the spectrum somewhere because he lacked the social skills and he went along with it, and he looked up to Backer or Baker, whatever his name is. And I really think that a lot of autistic people don't do stuff like that, and he really, you know, was what we would call they could be very smart, but he was really not smart to go and just go along with it like doy like. But it just that you wonder what his motives were, which he seems like he regrets it now. But these people are motives. It's good to know. And also another thing about these trials that I like, it's good to know about these things because you could be like, there's all kinds of crazy people out there. Not trying to be disturbing or macabre, but there's people out there right now that have the potential to do what Monica did, and Baker and Austin did, that are lurking out there right now. And it's good to try to, although we can't always prevent things from happening, just things happen sometimes. But it's good to kind of have a foresight about what type of person could be dangerous to be around. Like, why I think that there are red flags with Monica, and also about the insurance policy. Another reason is that he had, which was mentioned today with Anna, is there's insurance policy was being discussed, and that she didn't get the money yet. That's really what she wanted was the insurance policy. That's what Monica wanted. And it's like, in the long run, it doesn't really work because she goes to prison, or at least went through a traumatic trial, and she's locked up in a cell. And there are no church bells for her. And she used to slurp a lot of things, but now she has to slurp prison food and whatever girlfriend she has in prison. And yeah, so I thought it was, you could see the pain in the face of the sister. Everybody could. And the recordings, which we hear a lot of recordings, it's very, traumatic, for people to see that. stuff, and then she was saying how Monica built a shrine to Fabio, and I think that she does that. I believe that she does that, in my opinion, to show how remorseful that, like, that she didn't do it. Now, I will say, from my research, they usually will go, if someone's spouse is murdered, they usually go after the the spouse or the significant other, the partner, is a suspect always. They're always going to be interviewed as a suspect if they did it or not. So that's always going to happen. But she had a shrine because she was missing him so much that, quote unquote. Oh, thank you, tons of fun craving. Hello, friend. Shout out to you. I'm glad that you came to say hello to us. We're talking about trials that we're watching earlier. Yeah, and how her mood changed, how she was drinking and smoking and not brushing her teeth, which I'm sure are not really great anyway. And it's kind of cliche, it's cliche in a way. But hey, somebody's actually and I will say this: somebody's actually traumatized by their loved one being murdered. Obviously, they would have a problem. Psychologically speaking, you would probably have people doing stuff like that. This little crew right here, a crew of pirate ships. You know, you would have people act like that. So what I think, in my opinion, is she was trying to make it look like she was missing him but didn't. But she didn't really miss him. She was behind it, in my opinion. Is I think that you can't just go out and act like that and then in court act a totally different way. Like, she's completely inappropriate how she acts in court, and the fake crocodile tears she has. It's like crocodile tears she hasn't developed correctly after practicing Timu acting for all those years. And she was just wanting to spend all of Fabio's money back when there used to be Sears. So I think it is very not nice that she would make a shrine and do something like that. And people in chat was saying it was mocking in a way. It was just very cringe what she did. And as I said, my opinion, why she did it, just to put the bow on top, is because she wanted to make it appear, say she, which I believe and we believe, she clearly was guilty. She just wanted to make it look like that to get people to believe her story when she would go to trial later, that she was innocent. Yeah, so I'm not buying what she's selling. And she was cheating, and she was with the other guy, Baker. I think she thought Rebecca says spend that money on dental work. She wanted to spend the money on dental work, and then she wanted to go and act all innocent and cry with Timu crocodile tears and get nothing done with her Timu Alibaba teeth. She wanted to go with Baker to the Caribbean and hang out in the coral reefs. But she didn't realize that reality stabs like a sheath, a knife out of a sheath. And the jury, I believe, will sneak her with a dirk. She will have no hotel and no clerk. She will have to just behave in her cell to all the girlfriends she has in prison and twerk and cause them all to be disgusted by her gremlin saggy sight and chill with all of the dust mites and bedbug prison mites as well. You know, because she is really, she is really pitiful. And she's dirty. She needs to be thrown away in the trash first class. Annihilate her into ash. All she wanted from Fabio is the insurance and the stash. Now she's in prison. Hoo hoo hoo. That's the backlash. Hello, Danielle. That's great to see you. Just want to say goodnight and have you watch the snowplow trial. It's 4:45. Where I am, it's 3:45. So, I watched the plow trial today. And I saw the witness on the stand. So, basically with that one, there is this Temu altercation where this dude, he was at, oh god, that opening was so disgraceful. So, you had this, the Temu lawyer, and he's like bald, but he has a ponytail. He's like the creepy guy that goes and steals your mail. And what he did was, he was talking about the defendant. He said, "You don't mess with him." That's what he said. "You don't mess with him. He's tough." And the guy he deleted was trying to go and act like Billy Goat Gruff. And yeah, and then and the daughter, a very attractive young lady, she's 17. She was on the stand, and it was very heartbreaking. She was crying, and she had to relive what she saw. And they show the recording, which is very creepy, very creepy. And there's this altercation. You hear people screaming, and then you hear pow, 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 pow. It's like what Tasman was saying. You don't just self-defense isn't shooting somebody 6 times. You hear pow, 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 pow. You know how small your nuts have to be? The little marble AliExpress balls you have to have out of self-defense to go and shoot somebody 6 times. I mean, man, you gotta have like a little pee-wee micro thing. A little pee-wee micro dick. To go and, feel you have to do that to somebody. And it's heartbreaking for the, daughter to have to experience that. And, just, you have to do it like the old-fashioned way. And he's still alive. Okay, thank you. I was not really aware of the status. Well, it's good he's still alive. Hello, Delight. It's great to see you. What a wonderful surprise. Tiny weenie. Exactly. And yeah, because back in the olden days, you just get, your fists and just ball it out. I remember when I watched these, I watch political commentary and culture. I was over there earlier today at ABL's channel. And we've talked about over at ABL before about how there's these situations where has to do with the topic about that case, about the snowplow case. So basically, in the situation, there was last year, or like a year before, maybe in 23, you had this situation where there's these shootings that were happening by people with Temu guns, and they had little tiny marbles. They had tiny little marbles. And, for instance, I'll tell you a story. There is this 5-year-old girl playing with a ball, and this guy was scared, and he shot her with his pew pew because he was scared, because he thought it was something else. And he has his pew pew. He's like, oh, he's going to use it. He's going to use it. Oh, I'm the big tough guy. I'm going to use it and let all the bullets fly. So, but that's not true. Okay, not at all. He dropped the ball. It wasn't his balls dropping because he has none. And this other incident of these girls getting into a car, like they were just like seeing friends. The guy, this other incident, dude was scared and he shot one of them. So people getting, their roid rage, are getting old, tough, and but you're not really being tough if you have to go and shoot somebody in an altercation. If somebody wants to fight, the best thing to do is to get your fists. Well, don't fight, okay? Don't do that. You just get your fists out, and you gotta start boxing. You gotta start just throw some punches, because these people using, in the main argument, another incident that happened during that time was this couple, and this dude was calling back being a simp to his girlfriend that broke up with him, and the boyfriend or somebody came out with a AR-15, and one of my friends was saying how they should just fight it out with fists. It's these people these days, they'll take their pew-pews out. A pew-pew means a gun. That's a code word for it. And they want to, do that, but you can't be taking a pew-pew out. It's really, people, I believe, should have it for self-defense, or if they want to go and shoot some targets, it's fine, or they just think pew-pews are interesting, but you can't be going out and just shooting people. You can't do that. Especially over some snowplow altercation. Come on, man. That's just, terrible. Like, I can understand why people don't, like in Japan, they don't do that over there, but they have samurai weapons. They have swords and stuff that they could be having. Like in London, in England, there's these knife attacks. So you could still have problems. Yes, correct, Danielle. Correct. Exactly, Rebecca. Right. And basically, what happens is that you can't be like doing that. People got chill. Like, you need to do it. People need to have civilized disputes, and they need to make it funny. They need to not make it bad, and they need to not shoot each other, because it's, now where I am, it's an area that sometimes in the surrounding areas there could be a black on black crime, which is, I'm not talking about races or anything. That's what happens. Like, nobody's attacking any race specific. It's usually the violence between them. It's the gang violence, and maybe other things too. And you'll hear the pew pew shots in a distance, and that's still bad. But if it's a gang, I mean, it's different than two Joe Schmo and Elmo. Like they're like at war with each other. Oh, tons. So it's Ireland's becoming like England. Ah, okay. Yeah, because basically, so even if you took away the pew pew, people would still find something else to attack each other with. So I think that with this situation, people need to, like, so the gang violence is bad, but they're at war. It's like two groups fighting each other over drugs and stuff. It's really bad and sad. But, they have some sort of a reason, which is not a good reason. But if people are neighbors and they just get into a fight and pull out pew pews on each other, that's unacceptable. Or the dude that feels masculine and he's going to protect his new girlfriend by getting an AR-15 out. I mean, good lord. I mean, these people got micro nuts. Like, go and just fight it with fists. And that is it. Because although these are stories, I believe some of these stories were true. When I talk about conspiracy theories and these ancient legends, I believe are actually true. In the legend of Beowulf, the dude defeated Grendel, which is like a Nephilim creature. And the Nephilim, and he defeated a dragon with a sword and a shield. And I believe dragons existed. I have a tinfoil hat on. From my research, I think that dragons existed, but and I'll give more of a realistic example also with the Ice Age, to give you all for reference. But there is like they defeat a dragon with a sword and a shield, and people nowadays to fight each other need a war weapon over some minor dispute or a pew pew they need to take out. Well, let's give more of a something that's been confirmed as true by science and history. Say the saber-toothed tigers or the woolly mammoths. They had spears and they're able to take down these giant beasts. I mean, that is really incredible what the primitive people were able to do. But now with our modern technology, people are just really downgrading. So with the snowplow trial, it's just really horrible to use a weapon like that in a silly dispute. I think guilty, but you shouldn't be, doing that. No. And look, I respect defense attorneys and what they have to do, and I think it's good to have a process, due process where attorneys can be, like if anybody, God forbid, was in a trial for something he didn't do, you want an attorney to defend you, like Brian Steele, and the YSL trial, or Johnny Depp. But I think even with the criminals, everybody deserves a fair trial, and we need to see how it goes. And I will see if I keep my opinion as time goes on. Welcome to the mod crew, tons of fun craving. If you didn't want the wrench, I could take it back if you don't want it. Sometimes my good friend Blue is learning the ropes of being a mod, and he sometimes deletes comments by mistake, and I don't want him getting at y'all by mistake if he comes in. Shout out to my good friend Blue, because it's like, I want y'all to be able to chat in peace, and it's good to have mods if trolls come in, because trolls like to be stupid to me sometimes. Dragons, I named my daughter Khaleesi, which I probably spelled that wrong because of my alien dialect. I said that wrong probably. That's really cool that you like dragons also. Flow. Yeah, that's a good movie also. Oh. It's carving. Okay. Okay. I'm being, I'm having Timu dyslexia. It's not carving, but craving. Hilarious. Now the letters are very small, so I saw it wrong. If the letters were bigger on my chat window, I would have been able to have seen it better. Yes, Delight. I saw parts of it. It's the graphics are just like a speech, makes me speechless. That's a very good movie. Oh, okay, Rebecca. I love Game of Thrones. That's a very good show. I watched it. I'm glad that you like that also. You became a mod a few moments ago. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that trial. So the trial about the that situation is totally you know completely avoidable. Communication is key. like over, like in like politically speaking, you have like over, like say like Russia wants to have peace, or they want to like have a peace deal in Ukraine, and then Zelensky wants to fight for 20 more years, and it's like, we got to try to, both sides have to have a better communication, and we need to resolve the conflict. And I think people need to resolve their personal conflicts with each other, because I don't like how people are, acting so disgraceful and fighting each other like that. And I want to also mention with the trial with Stacy Rodriguez, the house burning trial, she was found guilty. She showed no emotion. She did not care. She had no regrets. And thank you, Danielle. And the attorney, I think her and the attorney have like a relationship going on. And she was crying for the saggy giant pumpkin Rodriguez. Man, the whole time we were grilling, we were roasting her good. And I like how the chat came together in that situation. And yeah, guilty. And the judge, at first, people were upset with the judge that he didn't really, was not as harsh, or like didn't get them out the room. But he grilled her. He grilled Stacy and the attorney and put her in a gurney. And then he gave this like sarcastic speech about how when she's in prison, she can mentor young people that are coming in and help make their lives better. She was, not really thrilled about that, and she was known to have yeah, and also Danielle said she was very giggly. She was scared, scared, and she was giggling. And then when she was being sentenced, she was not giggling anymore. Yeah, the judge was good. Now Lauren and a couple other people didn't like the judge, or thought he was too lenient on the defense. Now I thought at first, like, the judge, he seemed pretty chill. And yeah, you see, that's what chat and some people in the chat didn't understand. He was not like Glanville, Judge Glanville. He was like very stoic, and he was just very like, he was waiting for his opportunity to roast her. And he grilled her. He grilled her and cooked her, and he got her good. I thought he did a good job also. Like, people saw at the end, but at the beginning, like when I would see parts of him, I thought he was a good judge. But then people were saying he was too easy on the defense. And as I said, I was like, all right, okay, okay, I understand. But then people were being honest, because they saw what he was really up to. They saw the truth. They saw the truth about what was really, that what his intentions were, and he was just roasting. He was roasting her in a civilized way, and he was just disgusted because he said that he had to talk to the parents in a situation that was a very sad situation, to have to talk to her, to meet them in the worst situation you could possibly meet them in. And he didn't like that he had to do that, and because he would rather have met them under different circumstances. So I think that it's an absolute terrible, disgrace what she did, and she showed no emotion. She said, made no comments. I just can't believe it. She This is what she did. She was giggling and laughing with the blonde attorney. I know what's going on with the blonde attorney, because the blonde one and her were giggle, and also the darker one. They're all like giggling and laughing like a bunch of schoolgirls. And then that attorney was, both of them were cringe. They're both Timu attorneys. And I think that the one that was crying at the end was from AliExpress. Scared. And chat was very anxious, including myself, waiting for a verdict. I was watching the trial, and I saw there was no verdict, and because I was on my phone, and I was watching, I'll see y'all at the trial, and I'll come into this room where am now to talk to y'all on the computer, because to tag everybody, because I have to go to another room to come in here, and then I'll see y'all and to tag everybody. I'd rather just do it on the computer. So sometimes I watch it in the chat before I come into with y'all. So I remember I saw it, the jury watch, the verdict watch, and the two other trials are on, and yeah, because we're all drawing straws when it would be over. But yeah, then myself and others were telling the other live stream groups about what the verdict was. And yeah, because she was saying she had a nervous condition where she likes to giggle. But now she wasn't giggling anymore. G was saying, if her condition's real, let's see what happens during sentencing. Nothing happened. She was just stone cold. No more giggling. Life, unfortunately, can be short. That's why it's good to live each day as if it were the last day. I pray that none of us have to be or hurt or unalive, deleted in a situation like that. Or even worse, or just as bad as from some sort of sense of being a perpetrator of something like that. But y'all wouldn't do that. But yeah. Yeah, she had no social anxiety. I can tell you that right now. For her to be able to do that murder and be so calm about it, she does not feel that emotion. I doubt she feels that emotion. I'm gonna have to take this to a port. Let's go to Tortuga. And yeah, she, in my opinion, feels no remorse. Only for herself. She only felt for. If she had the condition, I'd have to have a psych doctor come in and confirm it. That's a good idea. Yeah, because it's we got to get the feel me here. It's we got to get the experts to come in and confirm about what exactly is going on. Is she scared or is she faking it? I'm gonna try to repair it just out here. I'm at a better port because I was out in the middle of the sea, and there's all these these little creeper ships that would try to sink me. So I have to repair it out here. All right. Oh, the flames are really big. Yeah, we are in uncharted waters. Is this? Well, let's see where we are at exactly. Uncharted waters doesn't sound like Tortuga. Okay, good. I'm at Tortuga. We're at a good spot. Okay, this is a safe place to repair the ship. Yeah, so I think that it was clearly an excuse because she was laughing, giggling, having a good time with her girlfriend. And also the eye rolling. Did y'all see the eye rolling? That eye rolling was just disgraceful. It was disgraceful. That's really disrespectful. But I'm glad that the judge grilled them. You know, and he did it in such a calm, nice manner. He was just waiting for the right opportunity. And also during the trial, the judge was taking up some other cases, and we were listening to them. That was something very interesting to see. I was outside. It was like the afternoon, and I had my hat on, and I'll walk on the side of the house because I like getting some sunshine. And with it, although daylight savings time is affecting people, I do kind of like having an extra hour to be in the daylight. And I know people are upset about it, and I understand. And like I was out in the sun, and it was very nice weather, and I was listening to this. I'm like, this is not the trial, and it was like, yeah, it was another trial that they were taking up. So that was interesting because I will like step away from chat sometimes and get some sun, but I have my phone with me, and I'm still talking to y'all through the phone, and I kind of go back and forth. It depends. And sometimes the chat's going so fast, I don't always see y'all's messages, but I have been able to see the messages. I usually catch them, but there would be times where I either was not around in the chat. That's usually why I don't see a message because I'm not in the chat. That's usually the reason. There'll be a rare situation, not a rare, but there'll be some situations where the chat's going so fast that it skips. But usually then there's so many people that I'm like greeting. It takes me about a moment. Like one time, I was greeting some people, and it just took me a moment to get to everybody. And sometimes people get triggered. But as I said, that's kind of like my schedule with it or how I do it. And a lot of times I'm at the computer, sometimes on my phone. But I can really take it anywhere. The trial. Danielle said, "Well, it's bedtime for ah Moimi." I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Danielle. Good night, Alien, everyone. See you all tomorrow at trial if I'm up. All right, Danielle. Thank you for coming. Good night to you. And thank you for stopping by. All right. So basically, with the trial, I think that it was nice to see all of this is a sad situation with verdicts because these people were murdered and stuff like that. It was a very good verdict and did excellent job. And with the other trial, with the snowplow trial, remember it'll be ending a little bit. Yes, Danielle. All right. So yeah, the I think with the snowplow trial, we're gonna have to wait and see how it goes. But as I said, my position is guilty as sin. You can't be going and shooting people over a Timu joke or over a snowplow thing. Good lord, scared. With a snowplow, like yeah. So we'll still be watching it, and I want to let y'all know the reason why, in my opinion, the snowplow trial ends earlier is because it's in the East Coast. The East Coast trials do not last as long, at least from my perspective, because they're out in the East and they're earlier. Well, they're later, so like the sun sets earlier over there. But a lot of the trials we'll see will be on the West Coast or the Pacific Coast, and that's when those trials last a long time because over out west and like Pacific time, it's like 2 hours behind. So that is why it just depends on the time zone. I kind of I love watching trials. It depends, but sometimes I like the trials to end a little bit earlier. Sometimes, but I don't really care either way. I remember during Christmas, their trials were not many, and some of the trials are ending earlier because they're on a different coast. And I watched on YouTube. They have some free movies, but you could rent movies and buy movies on YouTube. But I remember like what I would do after some of the trials is I watched some classic movies. I watched Edward Scissorhands and a couple different things. And Delight, she loves movies, so she'd be intrigued by this topic. And yeah, I remember like we got off early, and I went and watched a movie the rest of the day. It was a couple of movies. It was so. What I've been doing this time, we've been very busy with our work, watching trials, and the trials have been going on into around 7 p.m. my time, or close to 7 p.m. So, and then after that I go see the cats in the back. So, yeah. But I'm glad that there is, because they're telling me yesterday that Kathy Rusin was telling us that there was going to be another trial, and there was. So it's the snowplow trial. And Monica is still going on, and we'll see how the rest of this testimony goes. And the Monica trial with the sister, Anna. Today I saw one of the YSL members from the group from the YSL trial. I saw her there today, and we had a good time. It was nice seeing her again. I haven't seen her since YSL. It's a bounty hunter right there. I'm scared. There's this other case I was just watching I got here. Before I got here, I was reviewing this case where there is this YouTube streamer, and his girlfriend was murdered, and basically he was somehow at two places at once. So what he did was he went out and he was going to do a Christmas stream, of some sort of Christmas stream, and he was talking. And while he was doing the stream, his girlfriend was murdered in the house. He goes and nobody hears from her. She doesn't go to work or anything. And then he goes to her house and sees that she was unalive on the floor, and the door was open. So then what he did was, he was a prime suspect, but then he was dismissed because he was doing a live stream. If you're doing a live stream, you can't be two places at once. I mean, and he was given an alibi. And they had a video footage of the person, and it was very, just going past a walkway, the sidewalk, and it was the same height and build as the streamer. And I'm thinking a way, like, if he did it, it would have had to have been a stream that was already done. And you know what? It was true. The guy, it's so creepy. The dude, and he looks like a creep. His eyes are all like, kind of like, not like, his face and his eyes is like creepiness to him. And also, oh, you know about that story, Tons of Fun Craving. Okay. Okay, wow, well, that's a synchronicity. Well, thank you for letting us know. Yeah, pre-recorded. So it's so creepy. He pre-recorded the live stream, and he told his chat beforehand that he wouldn't be able to he wouldn't be able to talk to chat because of a technical malfunction. And he was telling them the date and all. He was telling the police, I said what the date was, and I was there. But no, they searched his computer, and he still had the file. A dingbat had the file in his computer of the pre-recorded trial. There is my blue. My blue is here. Well, what's up, bro? We're just talking about creepy trials. And other things as well. We could talk about anything. We've been talking about movies also. This time is a safe space. Anybody could talk about anything. I hope you're doing well, Blue. And so basically what happened was he pre-recorded it. Now he's a suspect and he's locked up again. And he's going to have trial in June. Now, Rebecca, the trial is in Ireland, so we're not going to see it. Okay, we're not going to see it because an issue that I've seen in the European countries, Stephanie was telling me about it. Stephanie is this French teacher that's in the Monica trial. I'm sure that you've seen her there before. And she was telling me in the chat that she likes to learn English because she's an English teacher. And she's an English teacher, and she likes to learn more about English because of the class that she teaches. And that's what the trials help her understand. She likes to talk to me in English to practice. I know about texting people in French a little bit, but it's okay. I say some words to her in French, but I like to just keep it English because that's what she likes to. Yeah, it's rude of them not to show it. I agree. So and she was, so that's why I like speaking to her predominantly in English. During the Johnny Depp trial, I spoke to many people that were in France, and that's where I learned a lot of French words from. Ah, okay. Tons of fun craving. If you can do that, that would be amazing. If you could do that for us, if you were able to. That would be good. If that could happen, that would be great. Now, I'm part Irish. I have Irish ancestry, and I am, through my both sides of my family. Now, my dad lives in England, and some of my ancestors went to. I'm related to English and Scottish, but some of my ancestors from England went from Ireland to England, at some point. And, so I am related to the Irish people. So I always take a great interest in Ireland. And St. Patrick's Day is coming up. And Blue just woke up. And also, so basically, so she was telling me in France and in Europe, I notice in general in Europe, they do not televise trials. And she was telling me in France, not specifically, but specifically, that they do not want to violate the privacy of the defendant, so they want to give the criminals. All right, I'll let you know the date. All right. So basically, with the date, with the trial. Wait, getting a little bit ahead of myself here. With the trials in Europe, they want to defend the murderer's privacy or the defendant's privacy, and she said it's really just completely disgraceful what they do. And I think that, I completely agree with her that they shouldn't do that they should televise the trial. So that in Europe they don't do that. And also in France, I was telling her that in Europe, that America, with our values and our system of government, or what I like to say is gooberment, is that our flag, stands for freedom, and that we show the system because that's what we do here. In totalitarian countries, they don't do stuff like that. Like Martin Luther King Jr. was saying in his speech about how he would understand in China and Russia and in totalitarian countries they wouldn't have like civil rights for people, and it's like that's what America's about. We have this. We show what the trials are happening, and all those other countries are completely, they're not free countries. They're not like us, and I think it's important. That's why I love the trial chat. And I found the trial chat, which I say this all the time, the story. I was watching the Johnny Depp trial on the Independent stream, and there is a storm that was spreading from down here to up where like Canada is. And there was an amber alert, somebody said, but it wasn't an amber alert. It was a weather warning, a tornado warning. And Madonna in England was asking what a Amber Alert is, and I was explaining it's like when a child gets missing. My friend Byzantine Ladybug was confirming to me and correcting me that it's not a Amber Alert. She lives in the area. It was an alert. It is an alert about the tornado that was happening, that may have been happening. And Independent went out, and they said Law and Crime was on. So we were watching, so that's how I got to Law and Crime, and I was watching the trials throughout 2022, and I was kind of gone for a little while, and Pam, that's not in the chat anymore, because she didn't like the trolls there. Pam wanted me to, come more often, and I just was dedicated. And then there's this group of people that I became friends with, and we all just hung out. And like Rebecca, the group of friends that you're with in the chat was from another group that was there before, and a lot of them, except Mike Morrow and a few other people like Kathy Smith, were the original members. But yeah, it's a group that's gotten bigger and expanded over time. But yeah, that is what we, that's how I got there. And I just felt that with the trial chat, I was doing a good cause by giving my commentary, helping people feel better in the chat. And I was doing a righteous deed for everybody and participating in this process, because it's important for people all over the world to see how the system works, and that every country should be like America and have trials available. And I think that if we were going to put tariffs on a country, I'm not against tariffs. I think a good idea, correct me if I'm wrong, that the trials, like we need to have some tariffs on Europe for not giving their people opportunity to see trials. That's just disgraceful, all right? Because if they want to be part of the Western Hemisphere, they need to act like it. Just those countries in Europe are just, I'm glad I'm here. Yeah, you're welcome, Rebecca. Yeah, I'm glad to be there. And I helped keep the group together, and I was reaching out to people. Like, I'll reach out to people. Like, I remember I reached out to you, Rebecca. I thought you were cool, and I brought you in. And I wanted to, participate in it. And I've gotten so many subscribers and met some cool people there. And I like connecting people together. And that's what I do there. I've connected people together. And I learned about so many things myself. And I learned things from, I believe, if you have to have a good teamwork. It's not about me. And I like to learn from all the very brilliant people in the room. And I just completely feel it's important to have teamwork, and that's why I appreciate the team there, and that's why I'm passionate about it, and I believe in it strongly, because you got to have these things done for people to see. And like, I feel like I'm making a difference, like, especially with YSL and those groups like that. Carving says, I was hoping Trump would have ripped into the Irish Prime Minister yesterday for what they have done to Ireland. Yeah, I thought that he would have done that too. But, especially about Rosie O'Donnell. That was another one that he was confronted about. And the guy just kind of brushed everything. He just seemed like real mellow. Yeah, it would have been nice for him to have done that. Like with, Zelensky, he had to let him have it. Exactly, Rebecca. We meet people from all over the world. And I meet new people everywhere. I meet a new person every single day. And also, Rebecca, and carving, with my time on YouTube, now I started when I was a kid, and I did a channel for a little while. Yeah, right on, cravings, carving, right on. And basically, and then I did like gaming, little games and stuff, and had a cool channel. I have like the videos on my old computer. Then my friend and I like to talk about aliens. He was very passionate about telling people about Planet 10. That could it orbits our solar system, and it could go by our planet at some point in the future. And now science and NASA are saying that's likely true, that the Planet 10 is real, or they call it Planet 9. He was passionate about telling people about it, and some people believed in him. Some people kind of laughed it off, and he taught me a lot about aliens, and I always liked aliens myself, and I continued the work and telling all you two about it, along with all the other things that we do. So I remember around 2017, I uploaded a sound effect, because I like doing sound effects, called Alien Spaceship Sound Effects, and it is going viral to this day. Now it's called Sound Effects of the Greys. I renamed it, but it's thousands of people saw it, and I renamed my channel after it. And when I was researching about how to do a YouTube channel properly, they want people to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. Carving. Awesome. Facts. Nibiru. Yeah. And basically, what they were doing was they were saying that you cannot have with a YouTube channel. You have to have a channel, multiple channels for multiple topics, and I thought that was a stupid idea. And I was going to make my channel about multiple topics on one channel, and it worked very well. You see, my channel name is long, so I could do a clause and say it's about aliens, alien spaceship sound effects, and alien spaceships about conspiracy theories. That could be political, and also vlogging could be anything. So that's why I strategically named the channel that, but it was never really a problem. And I brought people from all over YouTube into one place. And ABL taught me about how to do streaming on his show when I called in, and I'm still there to this day. And because people wanted me to do streaming, people wanted to see what I had to say. And back when I was in high school, I had a cool girlfriend. I talked about some of you before. Some of you didn't know this. And then I had a good relationship with her, but at some point, she drifted from me, and we went in different directions in life. We both did. We went in different directions, and I just was like, I was unfortunate, and I used all the harsh feelings that I felt and the confusion, and I focused on God and pursuing YouTube chat rooms, and look where we're at now. So I'm glad that she was a great, girlfriend, but I'm glad that didn't work out, and I'm glad that we went our separate ways, and I'm glad that I'm here with you all now. And as I said, it's teamwork. It's not about me. All of you are important too with this cause, and bouncing off each other's ideas is very important. And We should go where the snow fox is one day. Yeah, we should do that. We'll do that. Thank you, Blue. Yeah, and also that is my cause, and I'd really just like, for instance, these sound effects that I make that people like. I learned from I remember when I was growing. My friend next door, he does music and beats and stuff, and I learned a lot of stuff from him. And I just had a natural gift for music. My nana in England, she worked at the recording studio where the Beatles worked, where the Beatles did their recordings. So with the Beatles, music's in my genes, you could say. My One of my relatives played an organ. My great grandmother, my mom's side. So music was always within me, and I learned some things. Timbaland does live streams. I've learned stuff from him also recently. But yeah, I always had a gift for it, and I learned from other people. And I like providing these cool products. And even if it's just talking to people in a chat room, people seem to like my chats. Whatever it is, that's really what matters the most to me about like Law and Crime. We make a great team. We're helping people understand the concept of the chat, and that's really the most important thing. I don't recall the name of the recording studio on the top of my head, but I could retrieve the information easily, like later. But yeah, it was around there. Yeah, my nana met the Beatles, a few times. It's so historical. She was there when that was going on. Ah, this nail does not want to be hammered. I'm scared. Yeah, I don't use FL Studios is cool. My friend uses it. I use GarageBand because I have a Mac. I like GarageBand. That's what I like using. Yeah, I don't know if the computer is outdated or doesn't take the software. I don't really understand, but yeah, hopefully one day you could use it and make some cool beats or whatever you want to do with it. Now we're patching up the holes. Scared. Today, like, yeah, so that is my, some of my philosophy and some of my backstory and why I do what I do. And so I was being told by need new songs for the channel. Oh yes, absolutely. That's good to know. That's good to know. And I think that music adds a nice touch. Whatever it is, it adds a nice touch to it, and also people like to make their different sound effects and stuff like that. Also, you could look up your problem on YouTube and the internet. It could give you good tutorials about how you can get FL Studios downloaded. Now we got to do some bracing. Now we're hammering. Scared. Now, speaking of the trials, I was not outside today, but I've been outside recently, and the weather's been very nice. So, that's a plus, and I've been liking the weather. Rebecca says, I just learned something interesting. Do you know what the whole 9 yards mean? Rebecca, explain to us what it means. I'll be interested to know. I thought it had to do with a football field, but I really don't know where it comes from. Where it comes from. All right, that's good. I like the different sayings and the meanings behind them. Like "Ring Around the Rosie" has to do with the Black Plague, from what I read. Rebecca says it means if a pilot was able to fire his bullets of at one target. I didn't know that, Rebecca. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, it's always good to see what the meanings behind different sayings are. Because, because we say things, but they all have like a meaning to them from like a long time ago. Some words and some terms come from the 20s, also. I'm going to probably go to the pirate. Yeah, oh yeah, we're going to go to this island. Go to the volcano island. And Craving says, "Do you want to know the meaning of the underdog?" Yes, I'd like to know the meaning of the underdog. Explain it to me. Alright, now we are sailing to the volcano island. Scared. Yeah, and basically, I was also doing some research on the hobos and the tramp people. And during the Great Depression, there is very hard economic hardships. So people did train hopping to for adventure, find new opportunities. It was also very dangerous. Okay, now we are at the volcano island. Yesterday there was a raid here by Jolly Roger. He's an enemy pirate in this game, and there's only a few of us, and we didn't defeat him. And that was something we saw, that people experienced. And basically what I thought about it was a trial hopping. We call it trial hopping. It came from train hopping, and the train hopping came from the other thing, the from the Great Depression when the hobos were around. Carving says back in the day they were cutting wood. It was the dude that was underneath and got covered in the wood chips. I never knew that. Anytime I think of underdog, I think of like the root beer with the bulldog on it, and he's like the underdog. All right, see if we need any more tonic before we go in here. Okay, let's go to this other part. Store. Oh, they have a couple of dolls here. Do we need elixir? Need that. Okay, we are all caught up. That helps heal us when we have a problem. Yeah, this whole island yesterday was torched. My cat's name is Bubbles, the white cat, and his name I gave him also was Sam and Kevin, but his nickname is Bubbles. We call him Bubbles. And also, Rebecca, I was outside enjoying the evening, and there is this cat. You know, he has a brother outside. We call Bubbles his brother, and also we call Pootie. So it's like his twin. Rebecca says, I have a cat named Millo, as you probably already might know, and I have another cat named Twinkins. I think I remember the cat you were talking about, but not the second one you mentioned. Oh, I have a cat named Tweetzel. He's a big black and white cat that likes to go meow in the cat enclosure, and I like to go and in the evening I bring him over to another cage sometimes or most of the time, and kind of like herd them around a little bit. Yeah, so those are very nice names. All right, so let's use this one. Scorch. Yeah, so yeah, that's very cool. What type of cat? What type of cats are they? Are they tabbies or white or black cats? I'm just curious. Hello, Remy. Good to see you. All right, there's a pouch. There we go. Yeah, shout out to the unhinged Remy. Glad that you made it with us. Yeah, so basically, Milo's a tabby. Twinkins is a bow tie. Ah, okay. Yeah, a Tweetzel is a bow tie, the one I have. Yeah, so basically, what I did with the cats, yeah, so earlier I was feeding Bubbles' brother, we call him Pootsy, and then Clyde came out of nowhere, and he was very hungry, and I fed him earlier, and so that was, so that's what I was doing tonight was feeding cats. And Remy, earlier we were talking about the trial with Stacy Rodriguez and just kind of giving an overview about it. And we're talking about the different trials we've been watching including the snowplow trial. Yes, it is late for us, correct. It's 10 a.m. Wow, wow. Wow. That's really cool. So, yeah, as I said, I was very glad for that verdict earlier. Very cool. And, yeah, so with the cat, you know, I was thinking he was done, but then he tried to start eating wheat, like twigs and stuff, and I'm like, this cat's still hungry. So I was glad to give him some extra food. Yeah, I think that, you know, tabbies. Yeah, so, for instance, Clyde is a tabby, and he has like socks on, pretty much. Yeah, shout out to Remy. Yeah, awesome. Glad that you're here. You know, very cool. Oh yeah, sometimes the chat goes too fast over there. Absolutely. As I said, I was glad for the guilty verdict, and everything kind of ended earlier today, and also with the trial over up north and upstate. Since it's the East Coast, it ends earlier. It would be nice if these other countries would have trials, because I'm disappointed that they don't have trials. Yeah, and this is the lava cave. They have a lot of different enemies down here you can catch. Remy says, "Why did the lawyer cry?" Our theory, Remy, or the theory that I had with Lauren and some of the other people, was that the lawyer was upset that her girlfriend was going to be locked up, and they must have some romantic connection or something. And also the eye rolling too. It was just so weird and inappropriate for an attorney to act like that. And that she's that personally invested into the client, especially after the atrocious actions and believing the lies. This is so cringe. It's very disgraceful how the attorney acted. That is true, Remy. Yes. Yeah, I'm okay. I think I had a alien dream state for a second, but I'm back. I'm back. Exactly, Remy. Exactly. It's like, it's like, hey, it's like basically they are going steady. Like they have to be going steady with each other because she kept on like giggling and getting giddy with them, like, oh, 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 hardy har har. They're getting giggly, And she's attracted to the giant, saggy, rotten pumpkin whale. That's a pity. Her giggling and being inappropriate in the trial was very shitty. And her client and her need to go get a room. And I'm sure they like to do and play with in a strange way, they probably like to go play with a broom and shove it up. That's what they're interested in with each other. You know, the spicy tension between them was just so, intense. And also the blonde one as well. And I think that for her to snicker and laugh and acting giggy was very wrong. Yes, Remy, I agree. Absolutely. And Rebecca says, why can't she pour her own water? I think she could pour her own water, but she convinced her attorneys that she's too stupid and overweight to pick it up and do it successfully. And Remy says, so long, didn't think I'm ignoring you ever. People always think I'm ignoring them. It's not me. It's chat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, chat could be a Twilight Zone situation. You'll not always know. you'll not always. You'll not always know where a chat message goes because sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. Sometimes. Yeah, it is sus. For real. Yeah. Carving said, have you been keeping up with the Johnny Somali trial? The boy is cooked. I'm not familiar with that trial. Maybe I know about it, maybe I don't. I don't really recall. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. Oh, yeah, I've been on that chat. It's been a long time, but I've been on there. That's what I thought too, Remy. That's certainly what I thought would have happened. Carving said he's been out in South Korea making a nuisance of himself. He's expecting 10 years in jail. I might know what y'all are talking about. It sounds kind of familiar, but I'm not too familiar with it at the same time. Yes, Remy, amen. Amen. Absolutely. Remy, I'm going to tell you about a case that I was talking to the others earlier about. So, I was looking at this case about this YouTuber in Ireland, and something strange happened, and his he was going to be doing a live stream, and his girlfriend was saying that she would probably check out his stream later, and basically she went and was going to her house after watching the World Cup. So she gets murdered. Now, he does his stream, and then he wakes up the next day and goes to try to find her, but sees that she's dead in her house. Well, a few YouTubers went out for the trial. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, thank you. So they're accusing him of doing it, but he was doing a stream. So if he was streaming, he couldn't have been doing a murder if he was at his house streaming. It was during the time frame, so he was given an alibi. But the person kind of fit the profile of him, and he was the same height and everything, and build. Well, that was found on the security camera. And so he had to be at two places at once, and it's very creepy. So it's very creepy, and so I was thinking like the only way that could be, I'm thinking how that could only be if he was able to do the murder at the time he was doing a live stream. So lo and behold, he had a pre-recorded stream, and he was telling his chat in the video he wouldn't be able to respond to comments because of a technical issue. And he was saying to the police, I told him what the date was. It was real. But he pre-recorded a stream. And he then, so getting myself here. So he pre-recorded a stream, and he showed it to his audience around, it was Christmas. Then he went to the girlfriend's house and murdered her, and the trial will be this summer. But the thing is, though, there's not going to be any trial we're going to probably see because it's in Ireland. They don't really advertise trials over there. What was his name? I have to go back and look. I just saw it today, but the name, I have to go look. All right. Oh, I'm a little bit of a jam right here, but I'll get to it. Okay, come on. All right, take the elixir. I'm going to defeat this enemy right here. All right, this is a crypt. This is a crypt right here. This is the catacombs. Oh, I didn't mean to go. I didn't mean to go this way. I'm scared. That was pretty interesting. Okay, Remy. Okay. Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's his name. Oh, I will. I will watch that. I will check it out, Remy. Yeah, these are the catacombs where the zombies are. I went the wrong way again. Doi. All right, Remy, I'll look into it. All right, now we're out of the catacombs. Macron wife a dude. Well, that's news to me. Thanks for sharing that with me, chat. Scared. Yeah, Macron's cringe. I saw some memes about him. Dude's a goof. Well, that's where Jolly Roger is also. That's a projection of Jolly Roger. Okay, that's the enemy from the pirate game that was destroying the islands I was talking about. That guy. It's a projection of him. All right. The relationship as father and son. That's crazy. What? Well, okay, I could talk now. Oh yeah, I've seen her before, Remy. Yeah, I've seen many of her stuff. Okay, let's go here. I've not been in these parts of the catacombs before. Oh, they are jumping on me now. Scared. Now they got me stunned. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Remy. Yes, yes, definitely. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she's fierce. She is fierce. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, these catacombs are very interesting. I'm gonna go fight these things for fun because since I'm here, why not? I'm glad that you're keeping up to date with things, Remy, and chat. Oh, Remy, we would like you to be here with us too. I'm so glad that you joined us for a little bit. I really appreciate you coming by and telling us and sharing information with us. All right, we're attacking this thing. All right. Take the tonic. All right, we're doing better now. Attack. All right, Remy. All right. Let's go antagonize this one deep in the cave. All right. Facts. Peace. He got me. I didn't even realize the time. Well, this is inside the prison cell. All right, that's like a Vash type skeleton right there. It's like dude's like just sleeping on the floor, just chilling. Yeah. Yeah, it's like imagine the dude's just like he was on trial, he was waiting and waiting, and then he just like was not alive anymore. Scared. Blue says, I used to sleep on my friend's floor when I was younger. I did too. I used to sleep on the floor too. Like, but I had like a sleeping, like a blow up mattress. But anyway, one time I slept on the floor without a blow up mattress. I had like a pillow and a blanket. Yeah, that was just Vash chilling on the floor, like knocked out. Scared. Something else is that Cabbage Patch Kids were orphans, and they didn't know where they came from. That's the origins of that word, and I think that's like kind of the creepy and mysterious. America went through some hard times, but was able to overcome them. Like people these days don't know what hard is. I have some relatives that, which of course all of you probably do also. I mean, but I talked to relatives that were like related to people that were in the Great Depression, and it was not nice. But they were able to overcome it, big time. Yeah. And we have here, going through this cave, and let's see, we have a couple more enemies to defeat. There's another case that I'll be talking about also, but I want to bring up while we're here. Is that there is this black streamer, and he was having a party. Only people that he invited could come, and anybody else would be left outside. Then there is this. He was playing hide and go seek, and they're playing like a game. Then he went outside, and somebody was jumping over the fence, and this was done on a live stream, and he went and a person shot him. It was kind of like a burglar type person. But the eerie thing about it is that a lady was giggling, like one of the people that was there was giggling before it happened, so they think that he was set up. And it's just this disturbance, stuff out there. And, you know, you got to, be careful, but you can only do so much. That's why I like the belief in God, but sometimes things happen though. You know. So those are some interesting kind of disturbing streaming, some disturbing things that were caught on streams. I'm scared. Yeah, this is the gorge. It's like inside the volcano thing. I like the graphics you see in the distance. The orange smoke is really nice. All right, Carving. Thank you so much for coming here and spending time with us. The stream will be ending soon anyway. Thank you for coming. See you on the next one, if whatever stream I see you on. Painting a piece of furniture sounds pretty cool. I appreciate y'all being here and chilling with me. Peace, tons. Scared. Crap. Slap. Tap. Oh, your phone died. Scared. More parts of the lava gorge. Okay. Yeah, this is truly a labyrinth maze. This is kind of like the pool rooms. All right, so basically, I'm doing two things. I'm going to a certain part of the cave where they have the assassins to assassinate the assassins, and I'm also showing up different parts of the cave. And it's a really, really big place to get around. It's kind of like being inside of a pyramid. Not that it would look like this, but the idea is like you have all these different, secret passage and dead ends and stuff. Scared. Okay. All right, so and tomorrow we'll see more about the trial testimonies and how they go. And I'll be looking into any new UFO UAP news that's coming out. Also, it's interesting info Blue on the NASA. I mean, not NASA, but the rocket. How it could go up and it could come back down. That was very interesting. Rebecca says, Alien, does your cats knock things off your tables? I had to barricade my TV because Milo knocks everything off. I swear, if the earth was flat, the cat would knock all the shit of it off of it. All right, so he doesn't. He. I have some cats like in the back. Like ET's kind of like that, and a couple of them are like that. Now, Bubbles, the one in here, he does that sometimes. Yes, but he does not knock over the TV yet, and the other things in here. But there's certain spots he does knock over. Yeah. Cats like to jump on things and knock stuff over. And also, they like to pull down drapes and things like that as well, too. Because also drapes. Like, have you seen that with cats? How they try to pull down the drapes? For some reason, my internet went out for a moment. For some reason. I don't know why. I'm back. Don't know what that was about. Alright. Yeah, Milo pulls the shower curtains. Okay, you know what I mean then. Yeah, and they like to kind of get into things and eat stuff. You know, we had a cat that used to like to eat grass, and then he throw up because that's what they do. They eat grass and throw up. And some cats just sit there and don't get anything. You know, some cats are very different. That's right, Rebecca. I'm pronouncing it wrong. I remember that word from I remember Milo from like Disney. I remember that from Disney. Yeah, thank you. I was saying it wrong. I didn't realize I was saying it wrong. Thanks. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's what it was called. It was a good show. Yeah. Milo and Otis. Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen that or used that word. Yeah. But yeah, that's a very good name for the cat. Yeah, so basically my family has rescue cats and also we feed, stray cats and things like that. My family has done it for a very long time. And in the back I have ET and Praline and there's Tweetzel, there's Chester, there's Doodles, and Emoji, and Sparkles. Yeah, Cat Heaven. Yeah. Also, oh, Milo's kennel was named Doodle. Interesting. I remember the there's Itty Bitty. No, not Itty Bitty. That's from a long time ago. There's a cat called Fire. I call it Firefox, and my family calls him Firebird. And he was downstairs and he wanted to go have like a home. So grandparents have him, and he's a good cat, and he likes to lay down and on his blankets. And DJ, shout out to DJ, he said that when he gets deleted and goes to heaven, he wants to be a cat in my house. So do your cats like catnip, Rebecca? Some of my cats like catnip, and some cats are allergic to it. I mean, not some cats don't react to it because they don't have the gene for it, but other cats do react to it. They sort of okay. Do you have like a time where your cat like wants to eat when you're eating, like you're eating dinner or something, and the cat comes and it cat feels it's time for its meal also, not for its meal, but his or her meal also? All right, this is the fishing part of the game. You go and you can fish. All right, I'm going to fish all the way down to the abyss. I'm scared. And the green waters for St. Patrick's Day in the game. As every time I want to go and eat, my cat likes to go eat too and talks to me that he wants food. She says, "Yes, oh, Milo jumps on the table and actually spilled my soup the other day. He's obsessed with knocking drinks and bowls over, then walks away." Oh, one time Bubbles he used to take his food bowl and he used to just like dump it over. He would look at it and he'd dump it over. Scared. Oh, all right. I'm typing. My left hand broke my right hand. Oh, well, thank you for still being with us in spite of that inconvenience. You're doing fine typing. I do typos all the time. Yeah, so basically, what I was seeing with the, you know, ET, the cat that I have, sometimes, ET, so ET the alien cat, he was a red cat that was outside that came in, and my mom was kind of scared to feed him. But then I fed him, and I kept on. giving, he kept following me around at night, and he wanted to come inside, but he had to be neutered. They want him neutered, and it's what usually you're supposed to do with the cats inside. And then he used to sit in the chair, and now he's inside, and he's a nice cat inside. Now, one thing that he likes to do is bite. He's always liking to bite. And then he'll just look at me. It's funny. Oh, he's like a little. He's a kitten. He's an older kitten. He's young. He's a playful little cat. Come on, mouse. He's just a few years old, to be more specific. I'm not too sure what year, but he's a few years old. Oh, absolutely, I think he's teething. He certainly would be in that age range, yeah. He's also very playful. And a little bit with some mischief, too. So, yeah, definitely teething. And this fish does not want to cooperate. Doesn't want to cooperate. All right. Usually that brings it in. Okay. So, also, yeah, another thing that the cats like is they'll have certain blankets that they like more than others, and they have like a scratch pad. And there's Cat TV is a YouTuber that's in Law and Crime Chat, And I was watching her channel, and she's over in England, and she was showing a live stream of one of her cats giving birth, and that was a very fascinating thing to witness. It's like when they're kittens, they look like these little alien things, and they start developing in the fur. Yeah, so and the cats that we have like to watch TV and listen to the radio. They listen to the classical station on the radio. And very nice graphics with the sunlight right there. Now, TV, I mostly just watch YouTube. Now, that's what I mainly focus on. But I like to watch some things, but some old TV shows that I mostly watch stuff on YouTube. Yeah. All right, right. Rebecca, do your cats like to watch TV? This is the latest I've ever streamed. I've never streamed at 6 o'clock before. All right. I see you there, buddy. The white man. Hello there. Yeah, it's the Cash App and the PayPal. You could find it in the description of the channel. I go put it in the thing where you are real quick though. All right. So there is the PayPal, which is alien spaceship 333 at gmail.com, and then the Cash App is the cash sign Hans Alien, those are two donating options. Good to see you, the white man. Good to see you. I'll get the information, in addition to what I just said. Okay. Here we go. Alright. Let's see. It's here. It's here. It's not here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. These are the two options. All right. Shout out to you, the white man. I'm glad that you stopped by and told us hello. Oh, Rebecca. So she likes watching the. Uh, Milo likes watching the trials on chat. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. My cat likes to watch streams in the chat also. Yeah, that's really cool. If this is a fort where they have the red coats doing their thing. Yeah, so with the cats, there's Pearl, and it's a fluffy cat, a fluffy white cat. I love the fluffy white cats also, with the long hair. We've had a couple of those throughout the years. And what I did when I was little with the cats, with a Spritel, he was the first cat that I knew of when I was a kid. It was a nice big black cat. He, I used to put a Harry Potter costume on him, and he used to walk around with it. Oh no! Just don't fall over on me. Thank you, the white man. Thank you so much. You did, the white man. I just got the notification. Thank you. All right. All right, I will. Thank you. You too, buddy. All right, yeah, and yeah. So Rebecca, there is this. With cats, I think sometimes they understand what we're saying. They have to, and I love they have like the light in their eyes, and they and they'll just like try to get you to contact you or do something. And my friend, he has that I talk about aliens with. He had cats too. He was very good with cats. Now with Tweetzel, he loves playing with the toys, and he he plays in his little playroom, and I let him sit in there and chill for a little while. It's so funny to watch them play. I would have this wand, so my grandma and I would sit with Emoji, and before he was put in the main cat enclosure, and I have this wand with a little string on it, and he plays with it, and he gets all like he has like war with it. It's hilarious. Rebecca, yeah, you gotta be careful. You know, there is another friend of mine on here that's here regularly. She had one in the chat that was one of my friends, and he was always a cool dude, but he just started going down the path of destruction. You gotta be careful. Yeah. And oh, how many potty boxes I have? Yes, that's how many potty boxes I have. Yes. All right. So there's one in here. There's one downstairs, one upstairs. Yeah, one upstairs. In the back, there is five. So tallying up all the numbers, like seven, around seven. If you watch it, Rebecca, I'll be glad to watch your content, but always be careful though. Yes, yes. And also you have many water bowls and food bowls too. Rebecca says I buy toys for my cats, but they just play around with my stuff. Well, I'm sure the cool things that you have, you know, is more better quality than the toys that they made in China. So, in a way, that's a cool thing. You have desirable stuff. I am. King's Head Armorer. Also, Rebecca, how's the weather where you are? Is it cold, rainy? How it is? How is it over there? Well, that's a cool little area right here. 7 degrees. Scared. Scared. Lord. It's 63 degrees where I am, and humidity's 94%. My friend that I talked about aliens with, back in the day, him and I, he loved Alaska, and he always wanted to go there. And he said, it's a very good place for like wilderness and camping and stuff like that. And there's grizzly bears. He made jokes about wrestling a grizzly bear one day. It was funny. Yeah, and he told me a lot about Alaska. It's very cool. Cold. But yeah, you think the weather's quite nice. Yes, down here. Yeah, it feels very good here. Right now. It's not too hot yet, but some people really like the heat. I don't mind either. I like cold and hot weather. That's one of the assassins. I don't think I've seen that one, but I've heard of it. It looks really good. It looks very good. Looks nice. It kind of reminds me of the Reverend that Leonardo DiCaprio was in. It looked like Alaska out here when it snowed. Well, I mean, it technically could look like it any time because we have, woodsy terrain in some parts. Well, also my area specifically has some tropical things in it too, like palm trees. But yeah, like it's felt like Alaska when it snowed here. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And my friend, he has this. His family has this vast woodsy forest that I've been to before. Very nice, and like Alaska. So yeah, I'll certainly check out that movie. Thank you. Rebecca says, "Well, the guy skipped college and travels to Alaska and lived in a bus in the middle of nowhere and was deleted from starvation. My dad knew the kid when he first came to Alaska. The bust is now a museum." Well, rest in peace to him. Rest in peace. And you know, it's unfortunate that he passed away. And basically, I think you know that's good they made it into a museum. It's all right, Rebecca. I don't mind the spoilers. It's okay. The point you need to make a point about the story. It's okay. Like, I'm not bothered by those things. It's okay. There could be rare exceptions, but it's okay. Especially it was a true story. I mean, if something's a true story, it's already known what happened. So it's not really a bad thing that you said what happened, in my opinion. Oh, the word you're okay. Oh, I didn't know what you meant. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, the words on YouTube and on the future it won't be like this. Will be it'll be different in my opinion, but you will it's all good. It just YouTube's goofy with the words. You got this bubble just these bubbles are just being blown from the pit of hell or something. There's a pirate under there, and he's blowing bubbles. Scared. Yeah, because this game has all kinds of cool things in it. Yeah, and yeah, so yeah, shout out to the game for being pretty cool. It has all these different worlds in it, so cool. Yeah. Yeah, you remember that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Scared. This is a nice view right here. Look at that. Right next to the mountain. Yeah, it's very cool. There's a lady up there chilling. How does? Oh, you go probably through here. There's probably some stairs that lead to the top. I guess I don't really know. Something like that. Yeah, you go. I guess through here. Nope. Maybe it's around the back. It's quite like a little fairy tale. Also, my family feeds possums too. You know, there'll be possums that walk around. We feed them as well. And also, there's raccoons. You know, there's this time where there is this Mexican raccoon. So I was a kid and I would see this strange raccoon with the other raccoons. It was brown with a long pointed snout and it was kind of built differently with a longer tail. And I was talking about it with Kathy in the chat. You may have been there, I don't know, but when I was talking about this, but with Kathy, we're talking about it, and we determined it was like a Mexican raccoon, a Cootamundi, and it was so cool because at night I'd be at my grandparents' house next door, and I would look outside and I'd see it. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a mutation. I thought it was some mysterious creature. It loves tacos and it's addicted to tacos. Yeah. And I saw it that one time, and how did it get here? It may have came here from Katrina, Hurricane Katrina somehow. It originates from South America and Mexico and the West, like Texas westward, and to New Mexico, maybe Arizona also. So it got here. It was someone's pet in a zoo or something. After Hurricane Katrina, a lot of strange creatures were around and strange bugs. I remember there was these weird plants that were just growing randomly, kind of like sunflower-looking things. So they weren't sunflowers. And so they had some interesting stuff around after that. That was a cool, time. I liked seeing that raccoon. It was adorable, so cute. Now, also, I want to say my name, if you don't know, is Hansel, like from Hansel and Gretel. I don't know if you know that or not. I gave it a nickname. If I gave him a name, I don't completely remember, but I called him the brown one. That was his nickname. Oh, yeah. So, as I said, my buddy and I, we talk about aliens, and he. And then I became alien spaceship, and he was like lizard alien, and I'm alien spaceship. So, we. That's the thing that we, did. And it has to do with the alien spaceship sound effect thing, and also talking about the alien stuff that I talk about. A combination of things led to alien spaceship, and it's kind of an. You could see a lot of the letters in my name are in alien spaceship also. Well, yeah, yeah. I don't mind people asking, but I understand you wouldn't really know for certain if it was right or not. But yeah. And he was Joseph. That was his name. He's still alive, but I haven't talked to him. He's been in college and stuff, and I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. But I'm still on good terms with him. The governor's garden. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. Now, the name Hansel was my grandma named me. And I have like my ancestry, my dad's side's from England. I'm related to multiple countries from Europe, including Italy, and I'm related to Germany and Britain and Scandinavian countries. I'm pretty much related to all the European countries. Yeah, and I'm just like a mutt of different ancestries from both sides. And my great grandfather came from Germany. That's where I get the name, like the Schmidt, which is my last name. I get that from him, and I have my mom's last name, as my father was not around. I'll say that he had his own world he was in, but he's doing all right. He's doing better now, but he was in his own world. Let's say that. This is the cave where Monica came from. Look at this creep right here. Ah. Also, I want to know: have you ever seen any UFOs or like alien sightings? Hello, Shelly. Welcome. I'll be ending it soon, but welcome to the chat. This is the latest I've ever been doing a live. This is the latest I've ever done it. I've not like not hourly, but I've never done it at 6:34 before. Nope. But Rebecca's here, and we had some cool conversation. Yeah. So Rebecca, I would like to know your take on UFOs if you had any opinion about it. Oh, okay, Rebecca, understood. Shelly and Rebecca, earlier I was feeding Claude the tabby, and also I saw some of the raccoons. I saw a raccoon earlier too, and I also fed Bowles' brother Pootie. Look at this thing right here. Oh, that's good, Rebecca. I'm glad you do. Yeah, it's definitely real. From the research that I've done and stuff, definitely. Also, I think paranormal encounters, like ghosts and stuff, are connected with them too. There's a friend of mine from school, Logan. It's like he's kind of like a he means well, but he's kind of a clown sometimes, and like basically as a joke, the reason why the dude in Alaska passed away was not from starvation, but he Logan was trying to talk to him. Like we make little jokes back and forth with each other, and as that's what my friends and I do. We kind of make jokes about each other back and forth, and that's one of the reasons why, like my friend Ross, he does a very good job with me. We make these little jokes about back and forth about each other and things like that, and that is why I'm so good with comebacks because I do it all the time with my friends, like on the internet. I've learned from my chat friends too, but also like doing stuff with my friends. Like that's what we would do back and forth, and I still do it with them to this day because it's good practice for YouTube, like what I'm doing with trolls. And Shelly, I hope that you're doing well, Shelly. And Shelly, I'm glad that the verdict in the one of the trials in the Rodriguez, the one that burned the house down and killed the man, she was found guilty. Monica is still going on, and there's a snowplow trial going on where they this dude shot a guy 6 times because they're in a fight about a snowplow. Real, cringe stuff. Amen, Rebecca. That's a very good analogy. Ah, it's 4:30. Okay. Rebecca says, "Yeah, trolls. I always LOL. I say, care about what others think, and you'll always be their prisoner." Yeah, it's best to not care about what other people think, especially people that we don't even like. And life's too short to be concerned about all that stuff. Yeah, so this is very interesting catacombs, and also Shelly, I want to tell you about this story that happened where there is this YouTuber who was doing a stream, and his girlfriend was going to watch his stream, but she went to her house after she got home from her parents, and she was found murdered, and they thought the boyfriend did it, but he was streaming, so he couldn't have done it. So how could he be at two places at once? And I had my ideas and theories. So the person in the camera had the same height and build as he did. So what they did was they figured out later, which I thought it was pre-recorded. It's so creepy. The stream was pre-recorded, and he was telling his chat he could not talk to people in chat because of a technical issue. And I mean, that's just so creepy. And yeah, he went to the girl's house, lady's house, when she wasn't responding to look like he was trying to help out. But as I said, and then it won't be televised because it's in Ireland. All right. Like if we're gonna put sanctions on countries, we got to put it on countries that are not televising their trials because we got to have people in these other countries need to be more free. That's an imperialist attitude, but I think it's necessary for people to have freedom to see a trial that's going on in their country. Yes, it was premeditated. Correct. And he was arrested first, then he was let go because his alibi he was streaming, but he wasn't really streaming because he was pre-recorded, and he put a subliminal message. There was this. He flashed a James Bond movie poster during the time of the murder because he planned it at that time that he would do it. And the dude that was doing the Uber driver said the guy looked like him, and he went to the house where the guy lives to get something. It was just the guy's a moron. As the police found his computer of the replaced of the film that was pre-recorded. So he's not, although it's good he got caught, but he's not smart enough to delete that after he did it. Like, he didn't delete it. He just kept it on his computer. I mean, come on, man. It's amateur night. And in the stream, he was playing a game, like a GTA game, a Grand Theft Auto game, and he was just like, I gotta kill. Oh, here I go. I'm saying bad words. He said, I got to go delete her to win the game. And he was talking about what he was about to do. So, yeah, definitely premeditated. And originally he was let go, but then they found out the information. He had to be arrested again. Scared. Also, the other case where this streamer was going to invite people to a party during lockdown, and he invited some people, but people that were not invited couldn't come in. He was playing hide and go seek, and then this incident happened where he walked outside and saw somebody jump the fence, and rather than walking inside, he was going to confront the person, and he he was on a live stream was deleted, and they thought it was a burglar that went wrong, but there's a woman in the background that was part of the group that was laughing or giggling, and they're like, it probably was planned out that way. It's creepy, you know. So those are some two streaming cases that I brought to everyone's attention, and that was going on. It is some Timu nutcases out there from AliExpress. All premeditated stuff. This area is also pretty cool. It has some little scary creatures here. A lot of like tropical things, also. All right. All right. So we went through the entire tunnel, and look, these are graveyards like we have in New Orleans. So you have like these above ground graves. That's what we have. Like those. Yeah. I'm thinking something funny I just thought of. Oh, well, yeah. So Shelly, one of them that I'm watching now that just came out yesterday was the case, the snowplow case. So this, I'm gonna simply read you the description of it. But so these people are having an altercation, and with a snowplow, and the guy went and pulled out a pew pew and shot him 6 times, and it was this traumatic altercation, and it's on trial. That's something that I'm keeping up with that I think is, that I like to. I'd recommend. I'll read the description of it. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go. You may not be interested in the case, but something that I found interesting. I'll read the description. All right, so it says Jason Levesque, 44, is on trial for the attempted murder of his neighbor Kyle Violet after a violent dispute in Rochester, New Hampshire. Prosecutors alleges that Leverzik showed violent showed Violet multiple shot Violet multiple times following a heated argument, with a video evidence showing him firing even after the victim was already wounded. Police recovered 6 shell casings at the scene. Lefsik, however, claims he acted in self-defense, telling police that Violet had threatened to delete him and his family over a snowplow dispute before allegedly approaching him aggressively. The defense argues that Levezik fired in fear for his safety, and he is charged with attempted second-degree murder and second-degree assault and reckless conduct. Now, we're saying, like, people don't have to shoot someone 7 times. You know, it's kind of, like, ridiculous. The sun's coming up. Wow. You see it behind me? That's the sun coming up. I streamed all the way through the night to the sun coming up. This is a record. Wow. I've never did a stream that was this early in the morning before. Wow. We have broken a record. Yay! So that's the snowplow trial. I recommend it, but maybe you're not interested in it, but that's okay. But that's something, it's not really like a humongous thing like Coburger, but it's something I think it's interesting because of the issue of self defense and the gun stuff. Or the what I really should say is the pew pew stuff. And also, just for the record, hello, great bowels of fire. Good to see you. Now, Shelly, I will say that it's in the Eastern time zone. It's a little bit different, but I mean, you're here, you're up. But I'd say also, like, if you're interested in seeing the Monica Sementelli trial, that's very interesting, and that's still going on. I know you know a lot about it 'cause I've mentioned it, and that's those two are the only ones that I know of that are up. And as I said, I've been saying this for the past hour that I would be ending it soon. But as I said, this is a this occasion we where it was nice to have we had just a amazing conversation with chat for a long time. Yeah. So also I've been streaming since 3 in the morning. By the way, yeah. So I streamed all the way into the morning time. This is crazy. Wow. I streamed all the way until the sun came up. This is really cool. So, yeah, that's the moon. Oh, the moon's really cool. We gotta make sure chat can see a little bit better because it's not really where people could see it. Yeah, so those cases are the ones that are going on. I recommend. Oh, my mic's cutting out. Okay, thank you. Alright, so maybe that is better. I don't really know why it's cutting out. Okay. Thank you all for telling me. Alright, so it's pretty cool streaming this late. Okay. We've done a lot with the gain. Now we're going to put that off. Alright, let's go here. So this is the first time. I don't know if my mic is cutting out or not. But, you know, I have streamed all the way into the morning where the sun comes up. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so those are the trials that are on. And, you know, those are the topics, you know, we're talking about a variety of different things. And I'll let chat know if I'm, you know, how, what's the word? Whatever could be heard of me, that I'm going to be wrapping it up. We'll be ending it now. And so we'll be saying our final thoughts if anybody has any final thoughts. And I want to thank all of you for coming. Some of you may have just gotten here, but as I said, we are completed the stream. And as I said, this is a record that has been broken, that streaming as the sun is coming up. Now, and Rebecca, I'm glad that, you know, Rebecca, Shelley, and everybody that was here. I'm thankful for that. And also, Rebecca, it's your first stream talking. You've seen my streams before, but it's your first time chatting with me on the stream. So, all right. I'll see some of y'all that see me in the trial chat. I'll see y'all there, like Rebecca. And it was nice, it was a surprise from Shelley to come here. And Remy came here earlier, too. She came here also. And Blue and everybody, you know, the other people as well came here from different places. You're welcome, Rebecca. It was my pleasure. And an honor. Alright, so okay, everybody, let's do this with the balloons, see how it goes. Alright, everybody, peace.